Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Tim's Takeaway. This is now the third segment that we've done, and I hope you've enjoyed the first two and will continue to watch these. I'm enjoying doing them each Sunday and just kind of giving you a few of my takeaways for each week. So, with that being said, here are my takeaways for this week. We'll start on the boys basketball side of things, and the Mid-Eastern Conference is back up for grabs now. We started the week with two undefeated teams in Hoggard and New Hanover and ended with nobody undefeated as New Hanover was able to go into Hoggard on Tuesday, come away with an overtime victory to knock the Vikings out of first place for just a few days until West Brunswick went into New Hanover on Friday night and beat the Wildcats. So now we've got Hoggard and New Hanover back tied for first with one loss. West Brunswick sitting there with two losses, also back in the hunt. So, my takeaway, I've been saying it since the beginning of the season. This is a conference that's very well balanced. I think on any given night, the top seven teams could probably beat anybody. North Brunswick's, a little bit further behind everybody else and has struggled to stay competitive in the games. But, even South Brunswick, who's sitting in seventh place, has played, most everybody tough in the league. So, this second half of the conference schedule is going to be brutal. Right now, we've got two teams with one loss. I'd be pretty surprised if the conference champions ends up with only one loss. I think two, potentially three, is going to be where the conference champion sits. And then we're going to get into the conference tournament, and that's going to be a lot of fun given the parity of the league this year. So, takeaway for this week is that, I think there's four or five teams still right there in the thick of things, and it could go any way over the next couple weeks, and just really excited to see how this is all going to play out. Another takeaway I want to give this week is to a program or programs that don't get a whole lot of coverage and accolades, and that's the Southeastern Homeschool Cardinals. They have a ton of programs over there for the homeschool students, and right now they have boys basketball and swimming that are going on, and the boys basketball team graduated a lot of seniors last year, but they're still playing really well and have a couple of the area's top players. I really like Brantley Springer. I think he's one of the better players in the area. And under Coach Adam Batts, that program has continued to develop. The middle school program that they have is 15-1, so don't expect the Cardinals to go anywhere anytime soon. That program is just going to continue to build. And then over there on the swimming side, they competed in a meet this week over at Brunswick Community College and had some good showings. The Teeters, Thomas Teeters and Elizabeth Teeters, two really good distance freestyle swimmers, both won the 500 freestyles. Gideon Fields does a great job over there with the Cardinals, and so just kind of wanted to give a special shout out to them and the work that those coaches and players are doing, because I know they don't get probably the accolades that some of the public and private schools get. And so, if you've got a homeschool student or you're homeschooling your children and they're involved in athletics or want to be involved in athletics, I would encourage you to get on to the website or the Facebook page of the Southeastern Homeschool Cardinals and get your children involved, because they do a great job. And not only do they do a good job of letting kids participate, but their programs are really good and really successful. So great coaches over there. So just kind of, my takeaway is keep up the great job, Southeastern Homeschool Cardinals. And, I'm enjoying, following you. I know they've got a men's golf team coming up here in the spring. So another sport that they're adding. And it's just been fun to kind of watch those programs continue to build. On Saturday, we had wrestling tournament, one of my favorites, the 19th annual Veterans Cup tournament over at Ashley, and had 12 area winners. So just continues to show that wrestling in this area is continuing to grow, and I think is the best is still yet to come. We're seeing a lot of younger kids get involved in the sport, whether it's through Port City Sports Performance or other areas that offer youth wrestling in this area. But I personally know Dan Willis and I know he does a great job over there at Port City Sports Performance with his youth program, and those, it's feeding now into the high school programs, and that's exciting to see. So we had 3 guys that were undefeated entering that tournament on Saturday that won and stayed undefeated, and then multiple others that have great records that were able to come through and win. So my takeaway is wrestling is continuing to grow in this area. It's going to continue to grow, and I think the best is yet to come. I'm kind of hoping New Hanover County Schools will follow suit with Brunswick County and bring middle school wrestling to the area. I think that would be another great thing. I know they just brought in cross country a couple years ago. Maybe this is the second year, I think, for cross country. Lacrosse was added a few years back. It's been a little while now, but they added lacrosse. So I think wrestling would be a great addition to New Hanover County Schools middle school athletics. Don't think there would be much of a cost involved. I'm sure the high school teams would allow them to use mats, and basically all you'd have to do is provide singlets and headgears for the kids. And so I think if we can move in that direction and get middle school wrestling in New Hanover County Schools, the sky's the limit. I mean, we're already seeing Laney's been so successful and has competed for a team state championship 2 of the last 3 years, and has a real good shot of doing it again this year. So Ashley's building a great program, and New Hanover is working on establishing a nice program over there. I think with the addition of some middle school wrestling, things could really take off for all of our schools in this area. So those are my quick takeaways for this week. We've got a busy week ahead of us with, there's a big Martin Luther King basketball event at Trask on Monday, some big basketball games. I know Topsail and North Brunswick and Cape Fear Academy and Coastal Christian both play Tuesday. We've got the Mid-Eastern Conference Swimming Championships on Friday, so it's going to be a big week of sports, and I'm excited to get out and get to cover some of those games. I hope you'll follow along at coastalpreps.com. Also check out the Facebook page, the Twitter page, and the Instagram page. Until next week, we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.